It is funny. She's so wrapped up in identity and she had no idea who she was.
Now we understand why she always makes Whoopi get the coffee.
Guess there's nothing worse than to find out you're a white woman.
She's so disappointed.
It's really disappointing.
Her mother was white.
Oh my God.
Greg Gutfeld just obliterated The View, and Sunny Hostin didn't see it coming. She went on one of her usual identity politics rants, pushing false claims about race, history, and even climate change causing a solar eclipse. Yes, seriously. But this time, she got destroyed on live TV. Gutfeld hit her with cold, hard facts, exposed her own hypocrisy, and reminded her of a past she desperately wanted to forget. And the best part? Even ABC executives panicked. This was brutal. Let's break it all down.
People have to wonder, where does Sunny Hostin get her opinions?
Yeah.
Like, she has to tell her what to say on The View, because without it, she injected skin color into a fairly generic behavior seen in all spouses. She's not very bright. But the problem with her is that she went full race, regardless of skin color. People marry, they listen to each other, they share their political views. And by saying her husband makes her do everything, and then she'd have to accuse him of being a racist. Told her that this is what white women do, then he's a racist.
Sunny Hostin has made plenty of ridiculous statements on The View, but this one was next level. During a recent episode, the panel was discussing the upcoming solar eclipse, a normal, predictable event that happens due to the moon's orbit. But Sunny, she decided to connect it to climate change. Yes, climate change. She actually suggested that the earthquake, the eclipse, and cicadas emerging were all signs of some larger environmental disaster. Even her co-hosts, who normally back her up no matter what, looked confused. But it didn't stop there. She then launched into her usual race-baiting talking points, doubling down on how America needs to be held accountable for the past, blaming systemic racism for nearly everything. As always, she made sweeping claims about privilege and oppression, acting as if she were some kind of victim, despite being a wealthy TV personality with a law degree. But here's where things got interesting. Greg Gutfeld wasn't about to let this slide. He responded with one of the most brutal takedowns we've ever seen, exposing her own hypocrisy in a way that left her completely speechless. The moment he revealed the truth about her own ancestry, even the View audience didn't know how to react. What did Gutfeld say? And why did it leave the View scrambling for damage control? Let's break it down.
New episodes of The View when she tries to pull the race card, and then she's like, America is racist, and then they're like, yeah, slave owner racist. like somebody.
Even actually not give her any is she.
That's so true.
Yeah.
One thing, and that's just what they did back then.
Yeah.
She should say something along the lines of, and I understand that that's a departure from the way I've talked about this before.
Greg Gutfeld didn't just clap back at Sunny Hostin, he obliterated her argument in a way that left the View scrambling for damage control. After hearing Sunny push misinformation about the solar eclipse and go on yet another identity politics rant, Gutfeld delivered one of his most savage takedowns yet. First, he called out the absurdity of blaming an eclipse on climate change. He sarcastically quipped, "The true sign of the apocalypse is someone this dumb having a law degree." The audience erupted in laughter, and for once even the View's own co-hosts didn't rush to defend Sunny. But then, Gutfeld dropped the bombshell. He reminded Sunny of something she would rather everyone forget. Her own ancestors were slave owners. That's right. Sunny Hostin, who constantly lectures Americans about the past, was exposed on PBS's Finding Your Roots as being a descendant of slaveholders from Spain. And when confronted with this fact, she tried to brush it off, calling it just a fact of life, which is completely opposite of how she treats anyone else's history. Even Joy Behar, who normally defends Sunny no matter what, looked visibly uncomfortable. And Whoopi? Silent. Gutfeld pointed out the glaring hypocrisy. How can Sunny shame others for history when her own past isn't clean? This wasn't just a comeback, it was a complete dismantling of Sunny's credibility. And it only got worse from there, because once the internet got involved, things spiraled completely out of control. Once Greg Gutfeld's savage takedown aired, the internet erupted, and Sunny Hostin found herself at the center of a social media firestorm. Within minutes, clips of the exchange went viral on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. People couldn't get over the irony. Sunny Hostin, the same person who constantly attacks others over historical injustices, turned out to be a descendant of slave owners herself. Memes flooded the internet. One of the most popular tweets read, "Reparations? She might want to write herself a check first. Another viral comment said, Sunny Hostin blaming people for their ancestors' sins while ignoring her own is the most View thing ever. Even The View's own fans struggled to defend her. Some tried to spin it as not a big deal, but others called her out for her blatant hypocrisy. And Gutfeld? He wasn't done yet. He doubled down on his show, laughing about how Sunny was so obsessed with identity politics that she didn't even know who she really was. The backlash wasn't just online. ABC executives were panicking behind the scenes, realizing that The View had just walked into another major controversy. But this wasn't just about one viral moment. The real damage was about to come, because advertisers and executives started questioning whether Sunny was too toxic to keep on the show. Could this be the breaking point for The View? Let's talk about the backlash inside ABC.
Is shaming descendants of this. Will she continue to do that?
Everyone has ancestors that did unspeakably horrible. In her defense, not everyone's ancestors have records tied to their of The View that do a DNA test and find out that they were related to a cast member. Why I'm so stupid and fat. Oh, it all makes so much sense now.
As soon as Gutfeld's takedown went viral, ABC went into full-blown panic mode. Executives at the network scrambled to contain the damage. This wasn't just a bad moment for The View, it was a PR disaster that was spiraling out of control. Why? Because advertisers started pulling back. Big brands don't like controversy, and with The View already facing declining ratings and multiple past scandals, this was just one more reason for companies to distance themselves. Insiders reported that ABC executives were furious at Sunny Hostin for creating yet another unnecessary controversy. And the tension wasn't just behind the scenes, it was on set too. When The View returned the next day, the energy was completely off. Normally, the ladies would be loud, aggressive, and unapologetic. But this time, they were careful. They knew the backlash wasn't dying down. Meanwhile, rumors started swirling. Would ABC force Sunny to apologize? Could she actually be fired to save the show? Is this controversy the final nail in The View's coffin? This isn't the first time The View has had to do damage control. Whoopi Goldberg's Holocaust comments caused major backlash. Their attacks on Elon Musk backfired. And now, Sunny Hostin's hypocrisy was the latest disaster. ABC knows that The View is becoming too toxic to handle. But the big question is, will they finally take action? Let's talk about what happens next and whether The View is officially on its last legs. So, what happens now? Could this be the final straw for The View? Right now, ABC executives are weighing their options. The View has been a controversy magnet for years, but the backlash against Sunny Hostin is hitting differently. Because this time, even their own audience is turning on them. Advertisers are rethinking their partnerships, insiders are leaking reports of chaos behind the scenes, and there's growing pressure for ABC to make serious changes. That could mean forcing Sunny Hostin to issue a public apology, but would anyone believe her at this point? Reducing her role on the show to avoid further embarrassment, firing her altogether to protect The View's already fragile reputation. But here's the bigger question. Is The View itself running out of time? For years, the show has pushed divisive narratives, shut down opposing views, and attacked anyone who challenges them. But as ratings continue to fall and scandals pile up, ABC may not want to deal with the headache anymore. Greg Gutfeld just delivered a massive blow, and this time, The View might not recover. So what do you think? Should Sunny Hostin be held accountable for her hypocrisy? Should ABC finally clean house? Let me know in the comments, and if you're tired of mainstream media getting away with nonsense, hit that subscribe button for more truth they don't want you to hear.